Okay, got the air conditioner out. There's that space over in there, and all this sawdust was already in here. I didn't do anything to create that. There's those rubber flaps the guy was talking about in his videos. There was the issue getting this stupid thing out. It's got this pan in here. It's got a lip on the front, and there are legs on the bottom of the thing that sit down behind that. And if you lift it up enough to get the legs to clear this, the front of it goes behind the thing here, so you can't pull it out. So the only way I could do it, I talked with some people that went to the outside and took that wire mesh off, and that presents its whole set of problems. So I just took a hacksaw and cut it on both sides, and took a screwdriver and pried it down, and then it was fairly easy to get out, although it's heavier than crap. It plugs in right there. It's got one of these big circuit breaker things on it. There's all the wiring and stuff for the radio. I don't see anything coming down here to the USB port, so there's this much dead space underneath this. And I don't know, there's no way to take that bottom panel off that I can see. There's no way to take, this is attached somewhere up there, but it won't move. So anyways, this thing is strong enough to hold that unit in place. So I am toying with the idea of building an enclosure that fits around this with this thing on drawer slides, so you can, when you get where you're going, you slide it out so that the outside part where it needs to suck in air to blow out over the coils in the back, it can get air without sucking it in right around the edges here where the coils are at. Because my understanding of these things is that the front half is sealed off from that half, and the air comes in here, goes through a filter and over some cooling things, and then gets blown back out the front. And then the hot air, or the cooling stuff, gets circulated back through here, and it blows it through those coils on the back. So ideally, if it's stalled in a house, which is what these are designed for, stalled in a window, from here forward is inside the room, and from here out is outside the window. But as you can see, the only place for that to pull any air is right there, and that's completely sealed off when the unit's in there. So I don't know where the heck it gets any outside air to cool. And that's, I'm going to take it inside the house and throw it in the window and see if I can get it to create cold air. I don't think there's anything wrong with the AC. I think it's just the ventilation. It's the way these stupid things are designed. So I knew that going into it. So, but the trick is, what can we do to fix it? And if I don't get finished with it today, then I'll just have to cut a piece of wood or something to stick there in that opening to keep any rain that we get out until I get a solution for this. And the solution is going to be where you get where you're going. You see on vans and cargo trailers and stuff, they take the air conditioner out until they get where they're going, and then they put it in, and they just stick it in there. But I think it'd be easier if you put it on drawer slides and then just slide the thing out. But that's what I'm thinking about. So we'll see how much that takes to come up with. This stuff's up here, and this thing holds it, so there's not a problem with weight doing it that way. I don't know. Maybe this is the wire here that I don't know where any of these wires go. I'll have to look in there later. I'll get the vacuum cleaner out here and vacuum up all this sawdust that they left in here when they built it. And these spots right here on the side, I didn't put those there. That was done when they installed it. because apparently they had just as much, so it's up there. All this is that plastic crap over the top of particle board, or you could get rid of the splinters and put more on top of it and you wouldn't know that it wasn't brand new. But all these chips and gouges and stuff like that, that was from whoever installed it in the first place. That was a bad design. As far as there was no way without tearing this up to get this off to pull the filter out, because the filter's here on the side. I guess it's the thing. It's got to come out some kind of way. But anyways, that's all. This is just a quick update. I'm already uploading the video with all the, rat's nest wiring and stuff. So that's it for this. When I figure it out, I'll finish this video. Okay, this is what I came up with. Building a slide out thing to slide the unit out. Seemed to be like a lot of extra work for something that may or may not work. So the thing is to get air into this little compartment that can go into the back half and go out. So I got that wall there. What I decided to do is put a dryer vent out there. It'll sit on the outside wall, kind of like that. That's a 4-inch hole. There should be plenty of room to drill a 4-inch hole there without screwing with any of the wiring. I'll put it up top. I don't have to go through a seam on the outside paneling. And that wall, and coming across this way across the front where it'll meet up right here, I'm going to block that off with insulation, foam insulation. So all of that will be on the back. I was doing a terrible job filming. It'll come across kind of like this, and so all of that will be open to the back and the outside. And then from right here, which is where the divider is on the air conditioner, forward will be all sealed off on this side. And I got some of this air conditioning weather seal that I can put around the edges, so I'll make the inside completely sealed from the outside, and the outside will have outside air that can come in from over there. That's the plan. And then on the outside, I'll just seal it up with caulk. And since you can't get the air conditioner in and out with this little silly phone keeps turning off. I'm not even using the camera, just using the phone. Once I get the air conditioner in there, to keep this waterproof right here, I'm just going to run a bead of silicone across there. That'll prevent any moisture from this pan from coming back this way. And I'll do because I don't know why over here it doesn't have anything on that anyway. So putting a bead of silicone there around the bottom of the AC will actually fix that. So, and when I need to, if I ever need to take it out to replace it, I don't have to just reach in there and grab it and pull it back out. So that's the plan. I'm gonna start on it now and see what happens. Kind of hate cutting holes in a $13,000 RV, but I've cut holes in more expensive stuff than that, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, what I did was I cut out a 4-inch template. Used a compass to draw it on a piece of cardboard and just cut it out. I put it on the inside where I thought it would go, and it goes over farther here because there's a piece of wood behind that. So that was the first hole I drilled right there, and it wasn't going to clear this, so I moved it over, got that one, and then got one at the bottom. That way I know where out here to put it. I came out with a magic marker, drew the circle, and all I gotta do is drill a 1/2-inch hole and get it in with the jigsaw and cut it out. This way it's not going to be on a seam, and I think the cover will come over this a little bit, but I can waterproof off over this thing here. It's going to sit over the edge of that, but I'm going to have to, there's a wire harness right in there that's screwed to the board that's inside this. So I'm going to have to unscrew that and move that out of the way so I don't cut the wires with a jigsaw blade. But that's next, 1/2-inch hole, and then cut this circle out. We're ready to put the dryer vent in. Well, when they say these trailers are insulated, what they mean is they got about a 3/4 inch of this styrofoam in the walls. So I got the rough cut of this thing. It should be about 4 inches. We have to clean it up a little bit. I'm going to take some aluminum tape and cover the edges. It's for waterproofing, but they're not going to be water get in from the outside with as much goop as I'm going to put on it. So it's hard to do with this thing here. You can't get the saw blade down, so I had to drill an extra hole down here and start from the bottom and go up. And you can see I'm inside the lines a little ways, so I'll take a coping saw and clean that up. This stuff cuts really easy. Like a tree limb would go through it. Keep pointing the camera too damn low because I'm using a phone instead of a regular camera. Okay, I'm gonna take a break. The 4-inch pipe that goes in a little jagged up on the top edge where this thing right here got in the way of the saw, but I only had to trim it just a little bit to get it to fit in there. Those holes on this end clip into the thing, and I'm going to go inside and show you the inside. On this one side is a little more noticeable, but I mean that's all going to get covered up. There's not going to be any water come in. And it really was difficult where I could have taken this bracket here off, which is a whole nother pain in the neck. It's just easier to patch around the pipe. I got to trim the pipe because I don't want it to stick all the way in. I'm going to cut it off to about 4 inches so that it just, well, maybe I'll figure it out, but I want it to come in an inch or two into the enclosure, and that's it. I want the rest of the enclosure. I want the air to be able to come in and go straight into the back of the AC. Okay, it's getting hot out here. I'm gonna take a break again. Look like it's just sitting up there right now. It'll actually sit a little flush, more flush. And I lucked out where these screw holes are on both sides. There's actually I can't see what I'm doing. It's bright. I'm using a phone. It's just easy to pick up. On where the screws go in, there's actually boards behind it, so I won't have any problem. I was going to put blocks behind it. This stuff is real flimsy. You could cut it. Siding you could cut with a pair of scissors if you had to, but that's what it's going to be. And that's a 4-inch hole to put fresh air into the back of the AC. Let me show you what the inside looks like. There's the back of it, and I'll put some aluminum tape around it once I get it sealed up on the outside. And there won't be anything. Outside's gonna. I got some butyl tape left over from when I was working on the van. I'll put butyl tape on the outside and silicone and the screws. It'll be watertight. And I get the vacuum in here and clean up all this mess I made again. Okay, I'm done. I can get back to work on this. Well, there it is. It's in there, screwed in. Ain't no water getting in from the outside. I got butyl tape under this edge here to build it up so that it's kind of at an angle, but and it goes all the way around. So there's butyl tape all the way around the edges plus the silicone on the top. So that's not going to leak. I lucked out with the screws because they go into a board behind it. And that's it installed. I was trying to figure out what I'd do to fill in them gaps around the pipe because I cut the hole so kind of hard with this bracket here on the outside to get the saw in there level, so I just kind of chewed the hole out. But It dawned on me, I got a can of that spray foam stuff left over from the van build. I'll just squirt some of that in there. That'll fill that hole and everything else since there's no water coming in. If this don't provide enough air for this thing to cool down, then this ain't gonna have a working air conditioner. I'm trying to make this video is gonna be long, but I'm trying to make enough detail so people can see what I did, and it may or may not help in their particular application. But we'll see. The next thing is from here over to that wall. I got to put a piece of this foam and tape that in place because the front of the air conditioner is right here. So I want it like this to go right over there, and then it'll completely block off that back compartment, and then just the front part will be in here. And from here and up and over, I've got this seal stuff. I'll cram a bunch of that up in there. Maybe put some of this foam around that as well, because I want to block that completely off. So we'll see what it works. I think I'm done for the day. I'm going to vacuum up this stuff here and start hauling tools and stuff back in the house and close things down. I'm hot and tired, and it's way past lunch. I didn't stop for lunch, so I like the idea. I sure hope it works. Anyways, I'll be doing more. Maybe I'll putting the air conditioner and the insulation and stuff in here. I'll do that in a separate video.